Okay guys, to make this cute little rainbow that we're going to make today, I did put a hanger on mine. I have the intentions of hanging this on my rear view mirror, but in the end of the video I give you a bunch of ideas to what to do with these little fellows, okay? So to make the little rainbow today, we are going to need rainbow colored yarn. So I have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And we will also need a pair of scissors. Crochet hook today, I am using a 4.5 millimeter and then a darning needle. Okay, so gather your supplies and we will get making this little rainbow applique. Thank you. Okay, so to start our rainbow, what we're going to do is start with the last color. That will be the inside smaller part of our rainbow, and then each color will gradually get bigger for the outside of the rainbow. So what we'll do is make a slip knot and place that onto our hook. Okay, and then we're going to chain 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then once we're done with that, we're going to skip the first chain and we are going to work into the second chain. And into that second chain, we are going to make 1 single crochet. So that's hook in, pull up that loop. You should have 2 on your hook, yarn over, and go through both of those. Okay, and then into the next 6 chains, we are going to do 2 single crochets in each. So into the next chain, that was 1 single crochet, and into that same chain space, we make a second single crochet. So that was the first one. 2 single crochet into the next one, and that was 2. And to our third space, make 2 more single crochets. Our fourth chain space, 2 single crochets. The fifth one, 2 single crochets. And our sixth space, 2 more single crochets. And then we should have 1 chain space left, and in that one we just put 1 single crochet. Okay, so that is it for our purple, or our first section. So now I'm just going to cut a decent amount so that I can sew that in at the end and get rid of that color. I'm just going to put my hook back in and chain 1 and pull that on through to secure that. And so this is what we have so far. It is like a little horseshoe. Okay, so grab your next color. Okay, our next color, I am just going to put that into the top of our first chain where we started and throw my yarn onto my hook and just pull that on through. And I always chain 1 with both strands of yarn, and then after I chain the 1, I drop the non-working yarn. And I just kind of hold it. Okay, so my next color is the blue. So after we chained the 1 into that same first stitch, I'm going to put 1 single crochet into that. Okay. Then I'm going to put 14, so that's all of our chains here, just one single crochet into each chain space now. Like I said, that'll be a total of 14 once you're done. So just single crochet into each of those stitches with your blue yarn or whatever your second color was that you're working with, and then meet me back here. Okay, so I just got to my end and I'm going to chain the 1 to end this color and cut off that yarn, and then just pull that hook straight on through to end that color. So now we are going to be working with our third color, which will be the green for me. Okay, so we're just going to place the hook straight on through those single crochet stitches of the beginning, like we did with the blue, and pull that on through with our hook. And then once we have that, oops, I got some of the blue here on my hook. We are just going to make a single crochet again with those 2 strands of yarn, and then drop your non-working yarn. So now that we have that, what we're going to do is in that same stitch, we are going to make a single crochet. And pull that on through. And then into our next stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochets. So that's 1 and 2. And then into the next stitch, just 1 single crochet. And 2 into the next stitch, single crochets, 1 and 2. And into the next stitch, we're going to place just 1 single crochet. Into the next stitch, we will do 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. And then into the next 2, we are only going to put 1 single crochet. So into that first stitch next, just put 1, and then into the next stitch, just put 1. And then after those 2, we are going to just repeat what we've been doing. So then after that, you are going to put 2 single crochet into the next stitch, 1 and 2. And then into the next stitch, 1. Into the next stitch, 2 single crochets, 1 and 2 into the same one. And then into the next stitch, just 1 single crochet. And into the next stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochets, so 1 and 2. And then into the next stitch, we're just going to put 1 single crochet. Okay? So now I'm just going to chain 1 and then cut off my green yarn and pull that on through, and we will start our 4th color. Same as before, I am just going to put my hook into the top of that chain space that we have in the beginning of our project, and then I am going to place my yellow or whatever your 4th color is that you would like, and make a chain 1. Now I'm going to drop my my non-working yarn. Wow, that was a mouthful. And then I am going to go into that same stitch and place the 1 single crochet. And then what we're going to do is just single crochet 1 into every stitch, just like we did with the blue color. So just take that color and single crochet into every stitch that you have. And then that will conclude our 4th row. So then just chain 1 at the end and cut that yarn off and pull your hook on through. And then we will get to our 5th color. Okay, and just like previously, I'm attaching my next color, which is my orange, and then chain the 1. And after we have done that, for this 5th row, we are going to start with a single crochet into that first same spot that we just worked into. Okay. Okay, into the next one, we're going to also put 1 single crochet. And then into the next one, we will put 2 single crochet. So 1 and 2 into that same one. And we're going to repeat this 2 more times. So into the next one goes 1 single crochet. And into the next one, 2 single crochet. 1 and 2 right into that same one. Into the next one, just 1 single crochet. And into the next one, 2 single crochet. So that was 1 and 2. Now what we're going to do is put a single crochet into the next 2. So just 1 single crochet into that one, and into the next one we are going to put 1 single crochet. And into the next one we are going to put 2 single crochet. So 1 and 2. And now all the way down the rainbow, we're going to repeat the beginning steps. So I'll do that with you. So the next stitch, we are going to put 1 single crochet. And then into the next stitch, 1 single crochet. And then into the next stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochets. So that's 1. And into that same stitch, 2. Okay. And then we will start over with, again, 1 single crochet. Into the next stitch, 1 single crochet. Into the next stitch, we will make 2 single crochets. So that's 1 and 2 into that same one. And then 1 single crochet. And right at the end there, another 1 single crochet for our last stitch. Okay, and then chain 1, and we will cut this orange and get rid of that color. Okay, so I've got my final color here, which is red for me. This is our 6th color. And to attach it, we're just going to do the same thing, throw it onto that last stitch and chain 1. So for this row, we're going to go into that same stitch that we were just in and make 1 single crochet. Oops, I just popped my yarn off my hook here. Okay, once we did that first single crochet into that first space, into the next one, we're going to make 1 single crochet. Into the next stitch, we're going to make 1 single crochet. So that was for the first 3. Now into that 4th stitch, we're going to place 2 single crochets into that same stitch. So that was 1 and 2 into that same stitch. So this is going to be a repeat all the way around for this last row. Into the next 3 stitches, you make 1 single crochet. So that's 1 into the first one, 1 into the next one, and 1 into that last one. And then the next one you make 2 single crochets. So 1 single crochet for the first 3, and then into that 4th one you're going to make 2 single crochets all the way around, okay? Okay, so I just ended. I'm going to chain my 1, pull my yarn, and cut that red off and just bring that yarn on through. So here we have our little rainbow. Now there's a few different things you can do with this. I mean, you could literally put a barrette on the back of it and make little hair clips with it. You could also attach a chain or just literally any kind of string, just a strand of yarn, whatever, through the top chain there, and you can use it as a hanger for your rear view mirror, just to hang around the house or from a window latch. And then also you could attach a magnet to the back of it. They have magnets now that have like a sticky residue just on the back, or you could always hot glue it onto the back and use it for magnets on anything, your fridge, microwave, things like that. So that's just some ideas you can do with it. Now I'm going to tie in all these ends, weave in the ends, and then cut all these extras off. Or you can leave them on like this to a certain length and you can attach beads to them as well. Just to give them a little more pizzazz. Okay, so lots of different things you can do with it, but I am just going to weave in my ends and I'm going to attach a hanger and use it for a rear view mirror decoration. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this project. It is Pride Month, so happy Pride Month. If you just like rainbows, happy rainbow to you. Okay, so every Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, our videos do come out, so always watch for those different ones. If you have any video suggestions, you can always leave it in the comments. And thank you, and I hope you have a great day.